What's up, guys? We got Pac-Man today. Pac-Man is certainly looking buffed in Smash Ultimate with lots of quality of life changes, and there's a lot of changes in general, so I expect this video to be very long. Shoutouts, by the way, to Senji for sending me a document that lists most of his changes. I'm going to be looking at that along with my frame data document to really dissect what makes Pac-Man different in Ultimate. So, with that said, starting off, we got Jab. It seems that the moves connect much quicker, which is likely to reduce the ability of people to fall out of the move and punish him. So that's just a nice little change. Up tilt got a new attack completely. It's no longer this backwards headbutt. It's now an up tilt some of Mario's where he does an uppercut. And it's cool. It seems like it has pretty high hitting hitbox, hitting the side platform on Battlefield. So that's good for anti-airing, depending on the invincibility and the arms, if there is or isn't that. It could be a really good way to challenge people landing on top of Pac-Man. The move comes out frame 5 or 6, and the FAF is about 19 frames. It seems to have 6.5 damage. So overall, pretty good frame data on this. I expect it to be a solid move. I'm not sure if it fits in his arsenal well. But regardless, it's still good. We also have to see if it's going to be a combo move or not, because that's going to be a big deal. His down tilt now has a similar animation. So in Smash 4, you have down tilt, and Pac-Man kind of like takes a step forward at the end of the move, making the move a lot less safe than it should be, because it made a poking move bring Pac-Man closer to the opponent. In Ultimate, it no longer does that. He down tilts and he goes back in place where he started the move, making a significantly better poking move. Huge buff, honestly, to his grounded game. Dash attack now is 4 hits, up from 3 hits, and it seems that the last hit lets him combo into another dash attack sometimes. It also seems that the move hits into itself more reliably, so once again, a little bit of a people aren't going to follow this move and punish Pac-Man as much type of situation. So that's really cool. I'm not sure if the move has extra end lag to account for the extra hitbox coming out now. We have to see about that. But I think it does. So, about 8 frames extra total move length for the extra hitbox. That seems to be a lot better. His grab is significantly buffed. So, the grab went from 76 frame FAF. 76 frame FAF and sending grab to 59, or a 17 frame grab buff. And then his dash grab got a 9 frame grab buff. The hitbox comes out 2 frames later for his dash grab, but his standing grab is unchanged there. It seems that there may be a grab hitbox as the grab is being retracted, and it seems that the blind spot on it, which was like right in front of Pac-Man because his arms are passed through someone sometimes, is gone. All these are really good buffs. The grab is still going to be punishable on whiff, but that means it's less punishable. You won't do things like just avoid the grab and run up and up smash him. He might be able to avoid that. And because they're shooting hitbox, if that's there, you might just not be able to run into him at all. You might have to jump at him for a significantly less powerful punish. So, come out some other grab buffs that can make his grab a lot better option, whereas in Smash 4, you didn't really respect his grab. He would grab you, and unless you're like back throw percent, so he get thrown into the hydrant, or like use a hydrant to do like forward throw key, further up smash even, it didn't do too much. Also, the fact that the blind spot's gone gives me hope that other characters such as Olimar or Zero Suit will also lose those blind spots where someone was right in front of them. So that's cool. It also seems that forward throw and down throw do have better angles for follow-ups, both of them sending people more outwards. And up throw seems a true combo from pretty decent percents. Here is listed 30 to 100%, it doesn't say the character, with up throw up air, which means you might get like up throw up air into frame chops with bells or other interesting setups. So that's really cool. That's going to make it a lot harder to shield everything versus Pac-Man. And if my theory is correct, grabs could be kind of a high-risk, high-reward option similar to Zero Suit, or maybe more like high-risk, mid-reward similar to Samus, which is still much better than what he had. So, aerials. His forward air now does a little bit more damage. That's cool. Forward air also has a 10 frame landing lag down from 16. And it seems that it tumbles at much lower percents. So overall, it's a lot safer because now I won't get situations where you're hitting someone and they're punishing you on hit as much. Specifically, it stated in this document that it was tumbling someone at 30%, whereas in Smash 4 it tumbled them at 100%. Of course, it didn't say the character. But the point is that's a lot more base knockback, or the tumble threshold is a lot lower. Regardless, that's better. He also should get more things like fair into key for kill confirms, or just fair into like a tech chase scenario in general. So you get a lot more setups and reward of hitting people with fair as Pac-Man, which is amazing. Absolutely amazing. It seems that Downer has more consistency in the hits where people won't follow the hits now. And once again, it's really nice, another change where it's like you can't punch Pac-Man with hitting you as much anymore. It also seems the final hit sends people upwards launches them more sideways instead of upwards, which is good for follow-ups. In terms of landing lag, let me switch the video. Hard to find good quality Pac-Man footage. In terms of landing lag, the move went down from 20 to 10, so that's pretty big deal, half the lag now. Back air went from 22 frames of landing lag to 11, so that's a huge deal. That's about it. Up air went from 16 frames landing lag to 10. So, better combos off of that. Just, standard landing lag buffs. Considering Pac-Man's not really meant to land atop with aerials due to low range, those aren't too big of a deal, the landing lag buffs. He also had pretty good short hop auto cancel windows, so he was already landing pretty laglessly in the first place. And as a result, these aerial changes aren't going to affect Pac-Man too much. I honestly think the biggest change is just fair, tumbling people at significantly lower percents. And maybe a down air change, although that move wasn't particularly good for landing with, even if the hits connected properly, just due to not the best range. So, bonus fruit. There's lots of changes with bonus fruit. In general, the bonus fruit charges a lot faster. Like, for example, Apple charges 2 frames faster, Melon 6 frames faster, Galaga 10 frames faster, Bell 14 frames faster, and Key 18 frames faster. In exchange, Jorbite charges 1 frame slower, and Orange 2 frames slower. And Cherry wasn't changed at all. So, overall, just buffed. It also seems that when you throw the fruit, the throw comes out 3 frames faster. It seems there are damage nerfs across the board for all the fruit. For example, Orange 1.5 damage nerf, Apple 0.5, Melon 1, Galaga 1, Bell 1, Key 2 damage nerf, Cherry 0.7 damage nerf. So those are all big nerfs. My guess is you meant to be able to throw more fruit out in exchange for each fruit just being less rewarding. There's also going to be a way to balance the 1v1 damage multiplier, because otherwise you might have, for example, 18 or 19 damage keys, which sounds pretty absurd. So that could also be the case. Regardless, I think overall these changes kind of balance each other out for Pac-Man. But now we actually got to talk about some mechanic changes. So he no longer gets a vertical boost when charging a fruit in the air. Specifically, Pac-Man players do like a double jump in the air, while pressing neutral B and get a really high double jump, making it very hard to hit him, especially as he kind of like floats down slowly at first. So that's going to make charging a little bit harder for him in like disadvantaged spots. Yeah, I gotta keep switching videos. It also seems that he can no longer re-catch a Z-dropped fruit if it hits the ground, which is a big deal, because that means he can't do things such as set up a hydrant, Z-drop fruits, then re-grab the fruit while the hydrant's hitting people. Huge nerf for lots, even just things like shield pressure. He won't be able to Z-drop hydrant, say like a key or a bell on top of someone's shield and re-grab it over and over and just body their shields and do a lot of damage. So he's going to lose a lot of this skill ceiling and tech stuff, I think, due to this change. It also seems that each fruit now gets their unique effect out of the Z-drop, so no longer dropping, say, a bell on top of someone, them just getting hit by it. Now you drop the bell on top of someone, they get stunned. And apparently that wasn't the case in Smash 4. So that is a big buff that basically gives Pac-Man frame 1 stun, along with just all the other things, Apple sending people up high, Melon doing a lot of knockback, etc., etc. We have to see how Pac-Man players take advantage of this, but I do expect new setups, or more like improvements to current setups as a result of this, particularly with the bell. It also seems the key is much faster travel time, basically reactable across stage, which is huge buff with SKs. That move is very hard to react to, and just a very scary option at kill percents. So if it's now unreactable, it's going to be a weird game where you have to overly respect Pac-Man at all points once he has the key at kill percents, or even at like just any percent, because you don't want to get hit by a key and take 15 damage, be knocked off stage, and let him get time to charge another fruit. He can now cancel his fruit charge in the idle animation, but can no longer cancel in the specials. So I guess that's a decent change. I'm not really sure exactly what it means by idle animation, like if you just press the shield button, if he just does nothing. So I'm not entirely sure what that means. Not be canceling the specials though, like up B is gonna hurt because one thing that's long as fighting a Pac-Man, they would do like fruit charge, you approach him, up B away from you. That'd be really obnoxious to be honest. Or fruit charge, hydrant, because you would come from below him. So yeah, really, probably a nerf overall. He could also cancel his fruit charge into a jump and then cancel that to a special, so there is counterplay to the nerf. So overall, I guess buffed? I don't know, it depends how committal it is to do jump cancel into specials for fruit charge cancels and how much extra time that's going to spend. Because you do have to burn your double jump when you're off stage in order to get that. See. It seems that his power pellet has much less end lag, but the frame data chart doesn't show that. Enemies might be able to eat the pellet from his side B without even separating it from the move yet, so that's a small little change. I don't think it's going to matter too much. Instead of hitting the pellet, you just eat it. Maybe off stage you can like nair it and cut off Pac-Man while taking the pellet. And like if it doesn't stop his actual side B, you might be able to hit him with it. It depends, because also you might get stuck in situations where you try to nair the pellet, you eat it, and then your nair is canceled and he can hit you with the side B anyway. Or nothing happens. It's hard to say. We have to see how that actually plays out in a real match. It seems that he has less end lag when he bonks against the wall side B, so easy to recover, won't screw him over. You know, it's just a nice little buff, gives him a lot more versatility when it comes to recovering, and it lets him have more room for error. The trampoline also got massive changes. As you said, there's a lot of changes with this character. So it seems that the trampoline now, if it's hit, turns green. And if anyone goes into a trampoline once hit, they will now be put into a free fall state and pretty much just die off stage. Actually, if you look at the Pac-Man trailer that Nintendo posted, there's a situation where Ike forward smashes the trampoline as Pac-Man pulls it out. Ike hits the trampoline, and then while he's in lag, Pac-Man forward tilts him into the trampoline, and he just goes into free fall and dies. And that's insane, by the way, because that means you can use trampoline as sort of a bait to punish laggy moves. And there's going to be a lot of crazy setups with that green trampoline. However, it seems it has to be hit first by someone. So you can't just set up as Pac-Man freely. You have to bait people into hitting it. And smart players are going to play around that as much as possible. It also seems that the trampoline now absorbs projectile moves, which is going to make Pac-Man even better at dealing with projectile gameplay. He's not going to have to respect things like Mewtwo Charge Shot, or really any powerful projectile that could potentially hit the hydrant and force him to stop charging fruit. And it's just going to make it so it's harder to approach Pac-Man, but harder to camp him out, which is a big deal. And not having to show projectiles means, like, you want to worry about your shield getting low and having to take shield pokes or shield breaks as much. And of course, this can be used against Pac-Man. Say someone hits the trampoline as Pac-Man is off stage and recovers, and he's forced to go to the trampoline to recover. But since it's hit and it's now green, he's just going to be put in the free fall and die. So that is the negative of this change. I don't expect this to actually be that significant, considering it's going to be up to Pac-Man when they use it, and he can obviously counterplay the opponent going off stage to try and hit it, because you can kind of go off stage preemptively and hit Pac-Man doing this. And the hydrant is interesting. The hydrant's water cannot be interrupted by Pac-Man as well as enemies, so like an example for the Pac-Man trailer, I should just put that up, or whatever. Actually, maybe I can find it quickly. Here we go. Oops. So where was it? So right here you see he jabs the water. And it's interesting because right here you see the hydrant got hit. I mean, the trampoline got hit by Ike, and then Pac-Man pushed him into it. So, as you can tell, that gives him a lot of setup potential, because that means he can use the hydrant so many different ways. He can use the water to push him, but he can also cancel it for baits. There might be specific setups that require not getting pushed by the water, so you jab it. It's I'm not sure exactly how it's going to play out. All I know is another option for Pac-Man is very good, considering the character is good with most weird, gimmicky, and unique options and setups already. But also, the opponent can probably use this against him, so you might have similar situations where the opponent's using the water to bait or not bait out the Pac-Man player. And it's going to be a lot of skill ceiling from both players in the matchup using that water, I think. What else was there? There's some part about aesthetics, but I'm not going to bother with that. We already made this video long enough. Anything I missed so far? It seems that the Pac jumps when you up Bs has a weaker early hitbox but a stronger late hitbox. That's just interesting. Why is this working? I think that's about it. He got standard changes to dodging. Actually, he only got one change to dodging. His back roll now is 5 frames less, more end lag. Otherwise, he's unchanged. So I guess nerfs overall in that regard, but not a big deal. And that seems to be it. Oh, forward smash now comes out 2 frames faster, lingers a little bit longer, and has slightly more power on its late hit. So the move coming out faster is just better for combos off of, say, Bell or really anything. Like, I'm not sure if forward smash would be good now. It'd probably still gonna be like a mediocre smash at best. But that's why any buff to its startup is good, especially for a character that sometimes misses things by a frame or two. Down smash also got similar treatment, coming out 3 frames faster, and up smash comes out 1 frame faster. 2 frames faster. So overall, smashes should be a little bit easier to hit people with, and a little harder for people to react to. So that's nice. And yeah, that's all the changes. So what's my take on this character? I think it's just better overall. He got a lot of quality of life buffs that make a lot of moves less punishable on hit, if not just flat out safe on hit now. And he has a bit better poking. He gets different setups and probably more variety of setups. The fruits are going to be more annoying in general due to how much faster they come out. It sucks he loses the Z-drop shenanigans, and I think that is a big buff, but it's not a buff that's going to cancel out all the... a big nerf, but it's not a nerf that's going to cancel out all the buffs he got. I think his recovery off stage is going to be amazing still. I think he's going to be one of the hardest characters to edgeguard in Ultimate in a game where a lot of characters are easy to edgeguard. And similarly, I think he's got amazing edgeguard tools himself. Like throwing the bell is going to be good for edgeguarding. Dropping hydrants is great in Smash 4 and be better in Ultimate due to smaller ledge magnets. Just going off stage and naring people and fairing and bearing them is pretty easy with Pac-Man and pretty effective, honestly. And I don't expect that to change. And overall, he should be able to go off stage pretty freely and recover easily while pressuring people, making his offstage game very threatening. I think... he also got faster movement speed in the ground, of course. Like, significantly faster, apparently. That's going to make him a lot more difficult to deal with overall, because he can use that movement speed for either zoning with projectiles or pressuring people and setting things up in their face. And there's a lot of ways to use movement speed for a character that essentially has good options at any range, whether it's close range, using frame data and okay moves, mid-range, throwing projectiles, mixing people up with offense or defense, or far range, just charging projectiles. He can constantly change that up and take advantage of it. He already had pretty good air dodge frame traps in Smash 4 as far as I know. So I expect the air dodge changes to not hurt him too much because he should still cover like most air dodges pretty easily through proper projectile setups, hydrant setups, you name it. And also, he didn't have good landing options in Smash 4. He had to like land with hydrants or go to ledge, and none of those is really that good against good players. So being able to use these new air dodge mechanics should honestly help him, because now he has an extra option that he kind of needed to just get away from people in these bad spots. Especially if you can do things like air dodge away from someone and then drop a hydrant. Or throw a projectile, whatever it's going to be. But I do think also people aren't talking about how trampoline disadvantage might be really good. Like someone's chasing you in the air, you trampoline, they hit the trampoline and you just bounce away from them. But now they can't double jump at you because they jump into a trampoline and that's going to put them in free fall and basically get rid of the advantage state. I don't know, I'm just thinking out loud right now. But I do expect just throwing trampoline to be a really unique option to stop people's pressure. And with that said, that's Pac-Man, guys. I know this was a longer video than most, than all of them pretty much, and this one was kind of more freeform because of how long it was. With that said, let me know who you guys want to see next. Ultimate's coming out pretty soon, so I'm probably going to do like a couple more, maybe release my beta tier list theory based on like all these videos and analysis I've done. But that's just an idea. With that said, guys, peace out. Hope you enjoyed.